Have you ever felt like you're doing all the right things, but somehow you still feel stuck? You've tried changing your environment, building new habits, and learning new skills, but nothing seems to last. In our final episode for the year, we're wrapping up our series of 7 neurological levels by showing you how to align them for real, lasting transformation. So tune in to discover what's been missing and how to put all the pieces together for a clearer path forward. Welcome to The Brain Changers, a podcast about learning how to revolutionize the way you think and live by mastering your mind. We're your hosts, mother and daughter duo Rebecca and Yvonne King from Moonbeam Monday. Our goal is to empower you to live the life you choose by teaching you how to retrain your brain. Some people tell us it sounds like mind control, and it is, but not the way you might think. This is about you taking control of your own mind rather than letting your mind control you, so you can choose to live a life free from the expectations of others. No matter what you've experienced in the past, you can create positive change and transformation by learning how to master your mind. We know this because we've done it. Between us, we've survived cancer and stroke and eliminated debilitating anxiety and depression. We've turned our pain into purpose through the power of our mind, and we're now here to support and guide you to do the same. In this podcast, we share valuable insights about how your brain works, why you think, say, and do the things you do, how to begin the process of change, and why it's necessary. Because we know that when you change your mind, you change your life. Thanks for joining us. Let's go. Hello and welcome back to The Brain Changers. I'm Rebecca, and of course, I'm joined by my mum and partner in brain changing, Yvonne. Now, if you've been following our recent episodes, you'll know that we've been diving deep into the 7 neurological levels. We've talked about everything from the environment you're in, all the way up to finding your purpose. But today we're bringing it all together with a conversation about alignment.
That's right, Beck, and welcome back, listeners. And before we dive in today, let's talk about why alignment is so important. We've used this analogy before, but it's a good one. It's like building a house. Now, if the foundation of your home isn't stable, doesn't matter how pretty everything is inside, the whole structure is not going to hold up. And the same goes for making lasting change in your life. Each of the 7 levels play a crucial role, and if they're out of sync, you're always going to feel like something's missing.
Exactly. So let's start by introducing someone who we'll call Sarah. Now, Sarah isn't a real person, but she is an amalgamation of many of our coaching clients. And we're going to use Sarah to help us tie this all together, to give you an almost real life example of how this might affect you. So Sarah is a busy professional woman. She feels like she's always running on that hamster wheel. She's got a never-ending to-do list. There never seems to be enough hours in the day, and she always feels like she's letting someone down, herself included. Now, she's tried changing her environment, perhaps by moving her desk around. She's tried new habits like going to the gym, and she's even taken a few online courses to boost her skills. But still, nothing seems to click. She keeps asking herself, what am I doing wrong? When in reality, it's not that she's doing anything wrong. It's that the changes she's making aren't aligned with the deeper drivers of her behavior.
Yes, Sarah's story is a classic example of why change often doesn't stick. We start out with really good intentions, but it's hard to make it a permanent habit. We naturally focus on what's visible and tangible, like our environment or like our behaviours. But just like that iceberg, another analogy we often use, these things are only surface level. These are the things we see. They're the smallest part. The true drivers of change lie well beneath the surface, just like the majority of the iceberg. And that's what we're talking about in today's episode. So let's do a quick recap of the 7 neurological levels and how they relate to Sarah's journey.
Okay, so let's start with the environment level. This is if you imagine a pyramid, this is the bottom level in the pyramid. So this is all about the where and the who in your life. It's not just about your physical surroundings, but also about the people that you interact with daily. Now, going back to Sarah, Sarah tries to shift her work setup, thinking that a new environment would help her productivity. Now, for someone else, this may look like moving your furniture around at home, or it could even mean moving house or changing jobs completely. So, while a fresh space or a new role can definitely boost your mood or boost creativity, it is only a temporary fix. It's kind of like painting over rust. If anybody's done any home renovations, you know you can't just paint over rust. The deeper issues will still be there unless you address them first. So, for example, if Sarah's surrounded by colleagues who constantly complain, or if her workplace is filled with distractions, it's hard to maintain motivation and focus.
That's so true. And that brings us to the behaviors level. This is about what you're actually doing, your daily habits and routines. Now, Sarah decided to start going to the gym 4 times a week, hoping it would help her manage stress and improve her energy. It's a good idea. At first, she's excited, she's motivated, and she's really committed to doing it. But after a few weeks, when work gets demanding or life throws a curveball, as it's often going to do, her routine slips. And when that happens, she starts feeling guilty for not sticking to it. And this just perpetuates this cycle of frustration. So changing behaviors alone can be exhausting if you don't understand why you're doing it.
Yes, they absolutely can be. And then we move on to the next level in the pyramid, the skills and capabilities. So, how you do things and what you're good at. So, Sarah decided to upskill by taking courses and workshops, thinking that new skills would boost her confidence and her career success. And while improving our skills, of course, is extremely valuable, it doesn't necessarily address the deeper beliefs that might be holding her back or creating issues for her. So, for instance, if Sarah believes she's not good enough, despite having all the skills in the world, she'll still struggle to feel competent if she has that underlying belief. It's kind of like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. It doesn't matter how much water you pour into that bucket, you are never going to fill it because the water is just going to keep gushing out of the holes.
Exactly. Let's move up the pyramid a little where we get to the really good stuff now. This is where the real change begins to happen. The first of these levels is beliefs, and this is the real game changer. We like to describe beliefs as the software running in the background of your mind. Our beliefs determine everything from how we perceive opportunities to how we handle challenges. Now, Sarah has a deeply ingrained belief that she's only valuable if she's working hard all the time. Do any of you out there identify with that? A little bit of perfectionism creeping in here too, isn't it? This belief drives her to overcommit, and it makes it difficult for her to set boundaries and to say no to anything. Even if she changes her environment, behaviors, or skills, this underlying belief will keep her stuck in a cycle of burnout unless she actively challenges and rewrites it.
Yes. So, what you're saying here is that no matter how many times Sarah changes jobs or hangs around with different people or begins a new self care routine like going to the gym or yoga, or how many new skills she attains, she won't find that thing that's missing in her life.
That's exactly right, Beck. And as our listeners are possibly starting to recognise this in themselves too, it's a cycle many of us have been through many times, but it's the unconscious beliefs. And the next three levels we're about to discuss, this is where the real change happens and the change that really counts, because they're at the foundation of who we are as an individual.
Okay, so yes, the next level, this leads us on to values. So in simple terms, values are what is most important to you. We like to describe it as that inner compass that we all have. They dictate what you deem important and where you put your energy. So using Sarah as the example, let's say Sarah says that she values a work-life balance. But if we dig a little deeper, we find that her actions often reflect a stronger value for career success over self-care. So it's like trying to row a boat in two directions. You're not going to go anywhere, right? You're going to be stuck because there's going to be that conflict. And true alignment happens when your values are clear and reflected in your daily actions and decisions. And our listeners, you may recall from an episode that we did all about work-life balance that we did a little bit of a mythbusters on that term. How can you have balance if you don't feel fulfilled in your job, for example? Somewhere that most people spend majority of their day or their week.
That's right. It shows the absolute necessity of having alignment between everything. The next thing on that pyramid, Beck, is identity, which is how we see ourselves. Now, if we go back to our example of Sarah, she identifies as a busy professional, which has become her default label. But deep down, she also yearns to be a more present mother and partner. Now, this identity conflict creates tension and confusion within her, and she can't reconcile these parts of herself, or if she can't, she's always going to feel torn between the two. So identity isn't just about your outward role or the role that you've taken on and that you play every day. It's about who you are at your core inside.
Absolutely. And then finally, we reach the top of that pyramid, the seventh level, and that is purpose. Purpose is really that driving force behind everything that we do. And purpose gives our life meaning. It gives us direction. And this is where we get our sense of fulfillment. So using Sarah as the example, Sarah perhaps has been chasing happiness through achievements, if that's one of her values. But without a clear sense of purpose, it can all feel a little bit empty. Purpose isn't just about ticking boxes. It's not just about achieving the goals that you set out to achieve. It's about understanding why you do what you do and how it contributes to the bigger picture.
Yeah, so now we're getting somewhere, aren't we? So the crux of the matter is then, Beck, how do we align all these levels, all these 7 levels for lasting change? Well, it starts with...
Hey there, listeners. This is Rebecca King, the Brain Changer, helping you revolutionize the way you think so you can live your life on purpose. If you're loving what you're learning here on The Brain Changers, we've got something special for you. Take back control of your own mind and truly connect with like-minded people by joining our Mind Masters Collective, a premium subscription membership for those who want to feel happy and confident again, to feel seen, heard, and valued at an incredibly affordable price. Inside, you'll gain exclusive access to a supportive community of people on the same journey as you, knowing they want something more and ready to invest in themselves to achieve it. You'll get loads of valuable resources and expert guidance on mastering your mind to help you live your absolute best life. You'll make new connections and friends that you didn't even know you needed. We'll get close and personal in monthly masterclasses with guest experts and monthly mastermind group coaching to help you navigate the challenges and celebrate the wins as you grow and change. Join us now by clicking the link in the show notes. We're all waiting excitedly for you to join us inside the collective.
So how do we align these levels for lasting change? Well, it starts with awareness. You can't change what you're not aware of, what you don't see. For Sarah, it's about seeing what the changes she's making at the surface level are not aligned with the deeper levels, with who she is within herself, like her beliefs, her values, and identity. So it's about understanding that real lasting transformation is not just about doing more, but it's aligning what you do with who you are.
Exactly. And when all 7 levels are working in harmony, we stop feeling like a salmon. Now, what do I mean by that? Like we're swimming upstream. Decisions become clearer, stress decreases, and we feel more at peace because we're no longer battling these internal conflicts. So for Sarah, it's not just about finding the right job or hitting the gym more often. It's about redefining her beliefs around her self-worth, clarifying her values, what's most important to her, and reconnecting with her purpose, or indeed identifying her purpose if she's thus far unsure what it is.
Yes, and Beck, that's one of the reasons that we have created our Mind Masters Collective. This is exactly the type of work we do with this community. We guide members through each level in detail. We provide practical tools and strategies to help them align their thoughts, their beliefs, their actions with their true self. It's not just about what to do or the knowledge. It's not just about knowing what you've got to do, but it's about understanding how to apply it, how to make it work. And we create this really safe and supported space in which we can go on this journey together.
Yes. And in the collective, we're not just going surface level, are we? We allow our members to go a lot deeper, learning how to align beliefs, values, identity, and purpose with the results that they want to achieve, each individual want to achieve. And it's really designed to help you stop spinning your wheels and start making that meaningful progress and ultimately lasting change and transformation. And in fact, one member recently said that one of her biggest changes so far has been connection with her emotions. We spoke about that in an earlier episode, didn't we, about connecting with our emotions. And this member said that she's now at ease with her emotions. This can be a really big one for a lot of people because
Absolutely.
we can be quite afraid of our emotions. They're a bit hard to understand sometimes. Vulnerability is really hard. And another member actually said before joining Mind Masters, she often struggled with this negative internal dialogue that led her to making decisions that were misaligned with her values. So that's that conflict we were talking about before. And for her, that sometimes resulted in choices that didn't work out quite so well for her. So now, because of what she's learned in the collective, she feels more aligned. And it's given her the strength and the clarity to make more informed decisions and resonate with her true self.
Yeah, some really, truly wonderful results there.
Yeah.
It's really heartwarming to hear this. And of course, one of the biggest reasons that we have created the collective in the first place was to create a community of like-minded women, to give them a space, as we said, that they could feel safe to be themselves, to share, ask questions, be vulnerable, and to learn how to bring out the best in themselves, to be the best that they can possibly be. And that's exactly what they're doing. The best part is they're all in it together. They're here to support each other.
Yes, you're right. It's a really beautiful community of women. And I know even though many of them have never actually met in person because this is an online group, they genuinely care for each other and want to see each other achieve the results that they want. So, to our listeners, if you're curious to learn more about the collective or if you're ready to join us, just check the link in our show notes. We'd love to have you along in our collective. Okay, so let's sum up today's episode. Here are 3 key takeaways from today. So, number 1, awareness is the first step. We must understand all 7 levels of the pyramid and how they interact to know where the real misalignment lies if we're not feeling aligned. So we can do this by reflecting on whether your current environment, behaviors, and skills truly support your beliefs, values, and purpose. And if they don't, that's where the work begins. Sorry, just hold on 2 seconds. I thought my emails were off. I might just do that last bit again.
Okay.
So reflect on whether your current environment, behaviors, and skills truly support your beliefs, values, and purpose. And if they don't, that's where the work begins. And number 2, alignment is key. So lasting change doesn't come from working harder. It comes from aligning your beliefs, your values, your identity, and your purpose with your actions. So for Sarah, aligning her identity with her deeper desire to be a present mother while still valuing her career will allow her to make choices that fulfill both parts of herself. And then the 3rd key takeaway from today, it's a process. It's not a quick fix. Okay, change takes time, but it is achievable with the right approach and, of course, with support. So remember, it's not about doing everything all at once. It's about consistent, small shifts that add up over time.
And if you're feeling stuck like Sarah, it might be time to look deeper. Alignment across all 7 levels is what makes change sustainable and meaningful.
Exactly right. So that is it for today. We hope you've enjoyed this series on the 7 neurological levels. If you found it helpful, please subscribe, leave us a review, and share this episode with someone you know who might need it.
And that's it, Beck, isn't it, for the year? Can you believe it?
No.
We launched the Brain Changes in July this year, and now we've released 16 episodes.
Yeah.
So, we're really thrilled to have brought this information to as many people as we have. We love getting your comments and have you follow us, because we know that the information that we're imparting here has the potential to totally transform your life.
Yes, absolutely. I second all of that. It's been a lot of fun. Obviously, there's been a lot of learnings for us as well, but we thoroughly enjoy talking about all of this, about sharing this information with you. And thank you so much for listening along. So once again, thanks for joining us this year. We will be back next year. We've heard from a lot of you how you've enjoyed the podcast and how helpful it's been. So please keep that coming. Thank you so much for listening. We do love producing it for you. So I guess for now, we're going to say happy holidays. We hope you take some time out for yourself, and we will catch you again next year for a brand new season of The Brain Changes. And until then, remember, when you change your mind, you change your life. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Brain Changes. We hope you've enjoyed the conversation today. Please like and subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest episodes. Our mission is to reach as many people as possible to help them revolutionize the way they think so they can change their brain and create profound transformation. Please help us broaden our reach by sharing this episode with someone you know will benefit. And remember to tag us on socials at Moonbeam Monday and leave a review. And remember, when you change your mind, you change your life. We'll catch you next time for another episode of The Brain Changers.